Hello, everyone, and welcome yet again to our Age of Empires 4 Countdown to Launch. I am Grant Wall, one of the community managers here at Relic Entertainment, and today I'm joined by...
Elliot Hong. You guys know who I am. Been around long enough to finally get to this point. I'm so excited that we're able to finally... we're almost there.
Yeah, we
less than 2
are.
weeks away from launch.
Yeah, this is our
Whew.
third of 5 weeks of these Countdown to Launch series, so we're going to be doing these each week until launch, which is less than 2 weeks. It is 13 days from today, so it is happening. It is almost here. And so yeah, less than 2 weeks away. Each week we're gonna have a different Civ matchup. Pretty simple for that. You've probably tuned in for our past ones. But yeah, as part of our countdown to launch, we have the English versus Holy Roman Empire was the first week on October 1st. Abbasid Dynasty versus Mongols was the second. Chinese versus French is this week, happening right now. Hopefully you know that if you're tuning in. And then the Rus versus Delhi Sultanate is next week. The one thing to note, we have a little bit of housekeeping on our 2v2 show match. We originally scheduled for Tuesday, the
Mhm.
26th. We, just to make sure everyone on our team is able to be there, to make sure everything goes smoothly, we've moved that to October 27th. So it is one day later on the Wednesday, same time, 2:30 Pacific time. So
Mhm.
just highlighting that again, the show match 2v2 match, that's our last stream prior to launch, is happening on Wednesday the 27th, one day before launch, no longer Tuesday the 26th. So yeah, that is, as I see Dynor Spesh in chat saying, that is the day before launch. So we will see you the day before launch for that stream. We will update these schedules on the website and social and Twitch as well shortly after the stream. We just wanted to let all of you know here in person first, just to let you know that this change is happening. Pretty straightforward. The stream will be the same as it is, just a day later. So yeah, as these work, we have these Civ matchups. This is the Chinese versus French this week. That is our matchup. So on Monday, you were given the option on the website to vote between the two of which Civ you're more interested in playing, which you want to look forward to the most, all of that. So we do kind of, on this stream, we'll do a reveal of the winner from that. We'll let you take a look at them as well as highlight a show match between those two Civs, so the French and the Chinese. That's all. I assume if you're here, you've probably joined us for the first two. Shouldn't be all that different, but should be a lot of fun. The difference is in the civs themselves and watching the
Mhm.
awesome games played by our balanced team members here. Uh,
Yeah, I'm so excited to watch the play. Like I've always every week that we've been doing this, I've been learning new things that like, and we've been part of the team for so long. We're playing all the time. Like I said, like as much the balance team's got a lot of stuff on their end. They've got thousands of hours. Like we've got hundreds on our end. And
yes,
just learning, just watching and learning. Like it's every showcase match, I've learned something new that
yeah,
I thought I would know. And
yeah. So just so everyone knows, the showcase matches are pre-recorded, but they are live. They were
yeah,
commented live. We had
yep.
Zach and Eric, you'll see them a little bit later, but they were commenting it live, so they were watching the game for the first time, commenting what's going on. So they are pre-recorded, but it doesn't really change anything. It's still always an exciting match.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so
Exactly.
we'll be getting into that a little bit later in the stream, so stick around. During the stream, I'm sure I see people in chat already typing the word. Please, there's no need to spam it until it's on the screen. You're just going to make it harder for everyone else, and it doesn't count for you. If you type it right now, it's doing absolutely nothing. I see all of you, so I see there's over 100 people have typed it so far, and none of you are
They're just
eligible.
excited, Grant. They're just excited. They just want
They
age four
are.
stuff. It's not nothing to do with the giveaway, right, guys? Like everyone in
Everyone
chat,
just,
nothing to do with the
yeah,
giveaway.
it's just everyone's excited. We're 13 days away from launch.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe
Who's
Elliot.
that?
I was gonna say Elliot, do not get in chat with that, please. You cannot
They're
join.
just doing it now. Now they're just doing it.
All right. I see someone saying in chat we should change the keyword every week. It's good. People will know the second anyways, and the whole thing is this is age forward. That is what we're going with on
Yeah.
socials. You can tag us with the hashtag for that, and then the exclamation mark version is for our prizes. As I kind of just said there, if you've tuned in for the previous streams, we have prizes available each week on stream for those who are with us who are watching. And
Mhm.
I guess pretty simple. We can actually hop into one of those right now. Might as well
Wait,
get this
one of
going.
what? One of what? What's sorry, Grant?
One
What are we hopping
uh
into right now?
one of the things you're not allowed to win, Elliot.
Oh, oh,
But this is the Age of Empires 4 Castle View T-shirt.
oh!
So
What? I want to win that.
this is sweet. So how it's going to work is make sure you have your direct messages on Twitch open. If you win, a member of our team will reach out to you. We'll find out your shirt size. We'll get your shipping information. We'll get it all and get you hooked up with your shirt there. If you win,
Yeah.
this is the time, chat. Type exclamation mark age the number 4
Age
wars
four. Yeah.
WARD. Type that in chat. You only need to do it once. Do it once and you're entered. You'll be good. We're gonna let this run for a few seconds here. Let some of
Yeah.
you get entries in, and then we're gonna draw our winner.
Exactly. Context for what Grant is just saying. I think it was an early stream we started back in like 2017, and I was being cheeky and I typed in "fraffle," which was the code word back then to enter, and I won, which wasn't
Yeah,
obviously well received from the community team.
I remember the
So
Fraffle days. Elliot, no winning.
yeah,
No typing age
yeah,
forward here.
I mean, I'm tempted to see if I get my luck gets picked, but yes, I'm not gonna do that because I want you guys to win. So it's I see Placebox typing in Fraffle. It's age 4, guys. Please don't confuse.
Exclamation mark
Fraffle
age
was our
number.
old was our old mixer code giveaway. Rest in
Correct.
peace.
Fraffle right now will win you absolutely nothing. Yeah, so Fraffle will give you absolutely nothing, but we will let you win with exclamation mark age, the number 4, WARD. I see we have a lot of entries in right now. Give me 1 second. Let's see. We should be
You
good
have to
to
win.
draw.
So if you have to win a giveaway to be community manager, no, that was already the community manager, and I was also hosting the stream alongside with Joe and Jen at the time, and yeah, clearly the reception wasn't well received when I was the one winning.
I mean, I've never won anything, Elliot. Maybe I should enter.
Yeah,
No, I'm not gonna do that.
but please don't.
I'm not gonna
Please
steal
don't.
this shirt, even though I want it. I would love to wear this. It's same print that is on the wall beside me here. You can see a little bit in my frame. You can see it in the bigger one. It is the Castle
Yeah,
View print. It's kind of some of our key concept art. It looks beautiful. I love the negative space and the use of that all there in there. But
yeah, and you know what? We might as well plug this in. We do have the Age of Empires gear shop, so if you
that's
guys
correct.
you don't end up winning, you can always go here and pick up a shirt,
Thank you,
print,
Elliot. Yes, in
mouse pad,
chat, Elliot
etc.,
just
etc.
posted it right there. That is a link to the gear shop. You can also, this should work. Let me make sure. There you go. I tossed in as well. That's a direct link to this shirt, so you can go there and buy that as well if you don't win. But don't buy it just yet because you might win. All right, let's do this, everyone.
Oh, so
Oh,
wait, before we do, wait, hold up,
I just saw
hold up.
that before we
We see
do.
the rating. Mem TV is rating. Hello, Mem.
Hello,
Hello,
Mem.
all of those coming in.
Hello, all 312 of
You're
you joining
just in
us.
time. Just in time. We're just,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
can see on
Okay.
screen, we're giving away shirts. So
You know what? We'll give it an extra minute just because Mem brought all of these people to us with his raid here. Everyone joining from MTV stream, this is your time. Exclamation mark age, the number 4, WARD. Post that in Twitch chat
age
right
forward.
now.
Yeah,
Age forward.
yeah,
You've got, let's give them 30 seconds to a minute to get this entered. You
sure.
have a chance to win this t-shirt here. We will be giving more prizes away after as well. So if you don't win this time, no worries. But
Yeah. Now we have Mem for Mem's group just joined in, rating us. I just want to do a quick plug-in. If you don't know, King of the Desert 4, one of the prestigious tournaments that we have on H2 Definitive Edition, hosted by Mem TV. I believe it is set to start November 18th. I think is the right date. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. But yeah, it's a quick plug-in for that. So Mem, thanks for rating us.
yeah,
And yeah, we're excited.
thank you. All
So
right. 10 seconds, everyone. Winner is going to be drawn in 10 seconds. And again, you only need to enter age forward once in chat. Exclamation mark age forward. Do that once during this period and you're good. We will let you know next time. So once this giveaway ends, don't keep spamming it. It's not going to do you any good other than spam chat. But let's give this a go, everyone. Time to press the button. And thank you, ma'am. Looking forward to having you and all of your viewers here as well. All right. Here we go,
who's the
everyone.
winner?
Winner is
Who's the
coming.
winner?
Here it goes. Clicking the button. All right. Fraction. Fraxtion. Congratulations. You have won this amazing shirt here, the Age 4 Castle View t-shirt. So a member of our team will reach out to you. Again, make sure you have your direct messages open. They will get to you very shortly. We will get your information and get the shirt sent your way. All right. I see. Congratulations. And to those, again, you can go to, I'll toss it in the chat again. You can go there to the link I just posted from the Age of Empires account. You can go to that, and that will get you, you can buy the shirt there. We also have more giveaways coming in this stream, so stay tuned. All right. So now that brings us to the next part of the show here. Elliot, I think you know the civs we had this week. It's that time. So, yeah, last week the vote was between the Abbasid Dynasty and the Mongols. The Mongols won with 70% of the vote. And this week, Elliot, I'll let you do this. What are the two civs we have going this week?
So this week we had, as you can see here, we had the Chinese and the French. Definitely was interesting to see the polling because, if it's not a surprise to anybody, we haven't seen a lot of this specific civ. So if that wasn't a hint already as to who won this
Yeah.
week,
A little bit of a hint, but yes, I definitely saw a lot of comments,
Yes.
a lot of
Yeah.
people excited.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
civilization won with 77% of the votes. We're gonna
Yep.
just let this play, enjoy it, and we will be right back on the other side of this feature.
In Age of Empires 4, the French civilization is a brilliant force of nature, with fearsome unique cavalry and significant bonuses to their economy. Known on the battlefield for their fierce display of royal knights and their charge attacks, the French offer a unique assortment of powerful units to engage their opponent. To help expand their powerful army, archery ranges and stables can train units cheaper than other civilizations, when constructed within the influence of French keeps. Engaging with the French army and their hit and run attacks can be deadly for opponents. The Royal Knight can initiate fierce charge attacks, benefiting from bonus damage, while the Arbalétrier's bonus melee armor and ability to deploy shields can put up a powerful and unyielding defense. Specializing in gunpowder artillery, the French are extremely effective at scattering large groups of units and quickly flattening buildings. Beware of their cannons on the battlefield. The Royal Knight is an armoured cavalry unit, unparalleled by other civilizations, available in the feudal age. Their destructive charges are nearly unstoppable in large numbers, and they benefit significantly from technologies available to them. Chivalry, one of their unique upgrades, provides Royal Knights with healing when not in combat, allowing them to hit and run with impunity. Additionally, the blacksmith's melee attack technologies are researched automatically and for free when you advance to the next age, making the Royal Knight a truly formidable foe. When it comes to their economy, the French have access to various bonuses, such as reduced cost on economic technologies, faster town centre production, and the ability to choose what resources a trader returns. The French advantage lies in the strength of their cavalry. Playing against the French requires a thorough defense on the front lines, lest your ranks fall when facing the legendary French cavalry charge. Due to the reliance on devastating cavalry charges and raids, the French must be cautious of units equipped to counter their cavalry. Their knights must be ready to retreat when a plan turns sour, and care must be taken when committing to a charge. The French civilization's unique units give them the chance to dominate the early battlefield, forcing enemies to be on guard sooner than they might expect. With the unmatched strength of their cavalry and versatile economy, the French force their opponent to step up their game and strategy. Without careful planning and rigorous defending, anyone can be crushed by the raw strength of the mighty French army. If you love charging straight into the action with a powerful mounted army, playing the French offers the thrilling combat opportunities you seek.
All right, welcome back, everyone. If Elliot didn't give it away a little bit ahead of the time, the French were our winners, 77% of the votes, and definitely we did see a lot of comments. People just want to see more about this Civ. It's one of the ones people are really excited to. I know there hasn't been
Mhm.
a ton shown about this, so this is a good first look at this. And our show
Mhm.
match today will actually give you a much deeper look, which is up next. That is our show match stream. So yeah, part of the stream. We have the show match that's going to go on, and so that's going to take place very shortly. But yes, to those of you, French were the winners. Super exciting. You can vote each week as well. So this is the thing. Every Monday
Yeah.
we will have a poll at the start of the week. So when I say each week, next week is actually the last one for the Civ matchups, but we will also have our 2v2 stream after that. So there's still 2 more weeks in our countdown to launch. But next week on Monday, we will post a matchup. You can vote for which one you're more interested in playing or seeing, and then we will reveal that on next Friday's stream as well, with the same kind of video like this. The show match itself, that is just between the two civs. That doesn't necessarily tie to the poll. Just we get to watch a match between the two civs for that week, which is
Yep.
also
Exactly.
a ton of fun. And those matches are always quite
Mhm.
in depth. The level of play is much higher than I myself am capable of,
Yeah.
so it's always fun watching them. They are our team, the people who we have playing the game. They are so much more skilled. They would destroy me. Elliot, you might be okay against them. You tend to destroy me in games too. But yes.
But like like I said earlier in the stream, I'm also learning from each showcase match because like as much as I am comfortable and like
Yep.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but like I'm pretty comfortable playing the game at this point because again we have hundreds of hours, but I have to stress the bounty each individual member has thousands of members hours of the
Yeah.
game,
It's
so like
it's scary
it's
seeing their play
it's just a
history.
whole it's just a whole nother thing, and yeah, so I mean
Yeah.
I know what's coming up next, but it seems here like it may be time to do
Yeah,
something else before we dive
it
into the game.
is. To those
Okay.
watching, it is time for another giveaway. So hang on 1 second. Don't enter it just yet. All right. Now you can enter it. We are giving away 3 copies of Age of Empires. Age of Empires 1, 2, and 3 Definitive Edition. We will be drawing them in that order. So if you
Oh snap!
So, yes, exclamation mark, age forward, age the number 4, WARD in Twitch chat. Make sure your DMs are open. We will reach out to you if you win. But yeah, get that in chat. We'll let this go for a few seconds here. Maybe a little bit of time, let some people get some entries, give some away. And we will be drawing them in that order. So our first winner will win age 1 DE, age 2 DE after that, and then age 3 DE is the
Exactly.
final drawing.
And
So,
even if you have a key, this is a great way to get a friend, getting them hyped up to play Age of Empires 4. Why not introduce them to one of our other titles that we've got in the franchise, right? So
yeah, for sure. There's no harm
definitely
to getting
enter in.
anything free. Free stuff is always great, right? Except
Yeah,
for
I
you,
guess that's
Elliot.
true.
Except for you. Elliot, no.
Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna enter. My hands are up here, not typing. I'm not gonna
Very
enter
good.
H4.
Very good.
Okay, okay, it's not happening. But yeah, like I said, while we're waiting though, obviously we've got the Chinese and the French in a show match that's coming up from our Bounce team. We've got it's you've seen this every week, week in, week out. Hansberg CM is right here, ready to engage. Not typing, not gonna enter. But it's super exciting to see these matches because again, just the level of high level play that we get to see from the Balance team, and also just the commentary we also get, which we'll dive more into after we do these giveaways. So
Yeah, and to everyone in chat asking, I do see some people saying it caps does not matter. You can type in any sort of capitalization you want. You can capitalize the AR in Word if you want. It doesn't really matter as long as the letters are in that order. You are good. All right, we will let this go for a few seconds, and then we will draw our 3 winners. So if you've entered Age Forward, you are good to go. We will be drawing all 3 winners from the pool of those of you who have entered with that. So there's no need to do it
yeah, you
again
don't
for
have
the
to
next
enter
one.
again. Exactly.
Hey, I see that place box. It's not age 5 word. It's age forward. If you want to win, you got to get it right.
I don't know. There's people now.
Uh, oh no! Now chat's
H
just
Squidward.
age Squidward.
H
Oh no!
Squidward. Okay.
All right. Let's
All right.
do this. I think this. Yes.
Let's do this.
As Paragon says, our 2 seconds are up. Let's draw some winners, everyone. First up, we have Nurmela1. NURMELA1. Congratulations, you've won a copy of Age of Empires Definitive Edition. We will have a member of our team reach out to you very shortly and get you hooked up. All right, so that is the first of 3 winners. So we will be drawing 2 more right now. All right, here we go, everyone. For Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, our winner is Eddie O'Kane, EDDIEOHCANE.
Eddie
Congratulations.
O'Kane. Okay.
You have won
Congrats,
Age of
Eddie.
Empires 2 Definitive Edition. Again, make sure your direct messages are open. A member of our team will reach out to you and get you your key, get you your game. And again, as Elliot said, even if you already own these games, it's a great way to get your friends playing as well. Give it to some friends, family, someone you want to either be best friends with playing the game or become enemies and destroy. Both are valid options. All right. And we've got one more to give away here, everyone. Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition. We're going to give this away just before we hop into our show match.
And who is it?
Winner is Battle Cruvazer.
I'm not gonna even try to pronounce that. But congrats, you won.
Yeah. It's in chat with Nightbot there. It is, I think it's Battle Cruvazer, BATTALKRUVAZOR. Congratulations. A member of our team will reach out to you very shortly. You've won Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition. And that is it for our giveaways. Right now, you can stop typing !age forward in chat. There is no need to
There's
type it
literally
right now.
nothing that's gonna do.
There is
Nothing.
absolutely
Nothing's
nothing.
gonna
In fact, I'm going to take the screen off. I'm just going to take that giveaway screen off so you know you don't need to enter it. We're just going to sit on this for a second while we talk.
Yeah.
But
Now,
yes.
that being said, I did see some questions from chat. Who we are? So we are the community managers here at Relic Entertainment. We're obviously working directly with World's Edge to make Age of Empires 4. So we've been with the team from the start and the get go, and yeah, we've been working closely with the Balance team to bring you this showcase match that we're about to start and do. Chinese
Yeah.
versus French. We got commentary from our own Balance lead and senior Balance designers Eric Robel and Zak Robinson. Some of you may know Zak Robinson as ZeroEmpires, who did join the team a couple years back on this. And yeah, like it's been great to be able to work with them. And like I said, we learned so much from watching these show matches. So we're excited to get you this and show you this match between the Chinese and the French. Like, who's excited? Like, who do you think is gonna win? Like,
Yeah,
no, and
get in chat, let us know who you think's gonna win, and then we're just gonna let this play, and we're just gonna let the whole thing run until completion, and we'll be back at the end of the match. All right,
all right, see you guys after.
we will see you right after, everyone. Enjoy the match.
Hello and welcome to another Age of Empires 4 Civilization Showcase. This week we're taking a look at the French and the Chinese. I'm Zak Robinson, you may also know me as ZeroEmpires, and joining me today...
Eric Roble. We are on the balance team and we've got a very exciting match between the French and the Chinese.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. The map today is Mongolian Heights, and we've seen a couple of maps so far. We've seen Arabia, we've seen Mountain Pass. This map is the first map to feature a little bit of water. We've got a river running through the middle of the map here, and there's 3 crossing points. The shallows along the way, which may be contested, we'll see. Worth noting you can wall across these. And yeah, looking forward to this game, seeing what we have in store. Let's take a look at the Chinese here. The red player, Mike, he's going to be playing as the Chinese over to the right side of the map. Give us a bit of information about the Chinese.
So, quick overview. The main themes of the Civ are gunpowder and defensive construction. So all of their buildings build faster than any other civilization. So you can see this lumber mill, look at the progress bar just shooting up there, right? It's a hard worker. So all their buildings are double production speed. So they can really crank out the buildings. And then the other thing about the building though is for balance purposes, we sort of basically have made that bonus apply less for keeps, because we found that you could just run up to the enemy's base and drop a keep at double speed. There's just like, you couldn't do anything. You're just keeping your base now, right?
No more doubt castles.
Yeah. So another thing you'll see right here is he's just built the Imperial Official. So this is an option from the very beginning of the game at your town center. You can choose if you want to build villagers or if you want to build the Imperial Official. So it is, an opportunity cost because you have 1 less villager. But he's very powerful, and he is definitely worth it. So you've seen he's already out here on the field, and the supervise ability is quite interesting. So not only does he make the building produce much, much faster, they also get more resources for anything that gets dropped off. So this is really cool on the mill here because all of these workers are getting extra food dropped off at the mill, and also any tech that you research at the mill, like some really cool early economic stuff. You see,
Wheelbarrow,
he's
already done.
Yeah, already did it.
Finished it,
Yeah.
completed it.
Yeah, all set. Good to go.
Yeah, and they're dropping off 18 food per trip now, so, they're more efficient as a result, and they're getting extra food on top. And whoa, Mike, coming back with a large shipment of sheep to deposit at this mill. On the other side of the map, down to the southwest, we have Frank. He's playing in the blue, and he's playing as the French. He also has a lot of sheep. Early
Mongolian
game
Heights,
focus,
right?
yeah, of course. Now, the French are a really strong cavalry civilization. That's the main theme. If you're familiar with the Franks in Age 2 or the French in Age 3, it's a theme that runs strong throughout the franchise. No different here. They are one of 2 civilizations that can build knights in the feudal age, but the French get the special royal knight, and that has a bonus damage after completing a charge, and it has some special unique upgrades which can apply to it later on in the game. The French are also very versatile economically, especially in the early game. Their town centers work faster. They train villagers in just 18 seconds, so they're always getting ahead with that early eco.
Wow.
So many sheep. He's got so many sheep. That's awesome. But also, on top of that, their eco-techs are cheaper as well, and later in the game, once they build keeps, they're able to position their unit buildings around the keeps to get cheaper production. So economically, the French always getting ahead, whether or not they mean to. They sort of have these advantages that really help them throughout the game. But in the middle of the map, I'm seeing some crazy stuff already, Eric. We've got the Barbican of the Sun being dropped in the middle here. And the villager pull.
There's a couple of reasons. As the Chinese, you're building things faster. So that's part of the reason he thinks he can... there's a battle against the sheep. Run, sheep, run! And he got it up. So the Barbican is a great building to get here because it's basically like a mega outpost, right? So it's got a nice large area. It's able to shoot like a pretty powerful cannon at anything in the area. And we were looking earlier at this map. There's only 3 crossings, right? So having this in the center of the map is a really focal control point. It makes it a lot easier for you to attack the enemy, and if they want to hit you, you have a very nice, powerful defensive structure there.
Yeah, the center of the map here, like the most easy path to get to your enemy. He's got this here, and it's marked as a defensive landmark, but I've seen this used plenty offensively as well, which is really fun. I like that Frank was trying to contest that, but he did have to go back. As you said, the Chinese faster construction really helps. It helps with aging up to the next age as well. And one thing here about the Chinese that is unique, of course, is that they can build both landmarks. That's a really key difference. But let's talk about that later, because Frank has just reached the feudal age as well. He's gone up with the School of Cavalry. This is his landmark, which allows all of his stables to produce 20% faster, which is... Woo! Synergizes great with the fact that he can train the Royal Knight.
It's already faster immediately, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the scaling throughout the game is really nice too, because all your stables, the whole game.
Yeah,
right?
it's like it's permanent, right? Yeah, that's awesome. Even if the landmark, the landmark is destroyed, it shouldn't apply. But,
you can repair it though.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Landmarks are forever.
Just like diamonds.
Royal Knight's coming out here, and you may have noticed he also has Chivalry, which is one of those unique techs we spoke about. This allows the Royal Knights to regen over time. So they really make for great hit and run units. You can run in, get the charge bonus, do the damage, the shock, and then get out and then heal up as well. Which
I love that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Coming out to the top side, looks like Mike is walling up, so maybe we have a bit of an opportunity to talk about dynasties.
Yeah, so as Zach had mentioned, you can build both landmarks in all of the ages, and when you create the second landmark, you enter a dynasty, and you start in a dynasty as well. So the early dynasty is giving you scouting bonuses, and then as you progress, the bonuses are kind of like thematic to kind of things you want to be doing later in the game. So the second dynasty gives you villager production bonuses. You build your villagers much faster, and you also get a unique building, the village, which gives you a ton of population.
40.
Yeah, 40.
It's 4 houses.
Yeah, it's 4 houses in
for
one.
100 wood.
Yeah, and you can build it in half the time too, right? So it's only 15 seconds for that. Yeah. So not only is it just a great deal, but it also is a garrisonable building. So you can pop your guys in there to hide them.
Oh, Eric, I'm going to have to cut you off. I'm sorry. This is awesome. Frank, he's built a sneaky dock right at the top of the map, a transport ship, and he's over. And Mike's like, yeah, you know what? I'm safe.
I'm walled.
I'm walled. I've got
fine.
the Barbican in the middle of the map. And Frank's like, no. I don't think so, buddy. It's actually sent a villager as well. So he's dropping a stable up here. The Royal Knights are in. This could be really bad for Mike. He's not expecting this.
He has no units, right?
Yeah.
He was.
Oh, look at that villager.
There
Absolutely wrecked.
There goes. I like his feet went flying in the air when he got charged.
That was awesome. But, this is almost like, he knew that Frank's a cavalry civ. It's almost like he's ready for cavalry anyway. He's already got 2 barracks.
Yeah, very nice. Well prepared.
Yeah, and he's scouted in the top as well. He's pulling the villagers over. Do you think he's going to torch this, or is it too risky that a knight
It's too risky with the knights, certainly. So it looks like he's trying to retreat up there.
Away.
And I think he saw those knights coming.
Walling the gap, and maybe hiding in the stealth, who knows. Wow, this
those
is really
knights are
fun.
coming. The knights are coming. Oh! Build the wall.
All right. Well, I guess these villagers are gonna have to find maybe chop some wood here. I don't know.
All right.
We'll see.
They've created a new home for themselves. The knights, they're trying to look. They're
they
like,
can't
where'd
get
those
in,
villagers
can they?
go?
They can't get in.
No,
here.
I don't think so.
Okay.
They're stuck out.
I mean, that is still 8
trying...
idle villagers, though. That's
that
pretty
is
huge.
a good. And they're okay. So they're throwing the torches. They're trying to get in, but that many cavalry is not gonna get you through a wall when you have 8 villagers that can repair, right?
They'll repair, yeah. Okay, this is kind of chaotic. I thought we'd have time to talk about the civs, but apparently not. Oh, he's using the spearmen to torch down the stables and trying to make a run for it with the villagers.
Get out, run away!
Oh no!
Oh, okay, he lost one.
That's actually not too bad.
Yeah,
and wow, he's really confident in the spearmen here.
He just went right back down to collecting resources. That is bold.
More spearmen coming over, and I think this might be short-lived for Frank. By the looks of things, he's going to get cleaned up.
Spearmen are taken care of. Oh, look at him just pasting all those knights. And now he's going to town with the torches.
Yeah, and as we said before, the spearmen get a huge bonus against cavalry. And I think all Frank can do now is maybe, build the tower. He can put the knights in to get some extra damage.
Yeah, each one gives you an arrow. This is actually working out pretty well. He's about to kill that villager, right?
Yeah.
One more shot.
He's gonna get it.
Oh, nice. Got him.
Oh, and look, the chivalry check is done.
The knight is healing. Very nice, very nice.
The knight is healing in the hold, but I don't think he's going to last much longer as that gets burned down here. And yeah, I think Mike responded to that very well. I think that could have gone a lot worse than it did, to be honest.
I like his response. The knight popped out of the tower, right?
Yeah.
And all the spearmen immediately switched targets to attack the knight, deal bonus damage. He got right on that knight and killed that too, protected his villager. Oh, what a hold.
Yeah, that's awesome. And now he's got a lot of spearmen, and I wonder if this could work to Frank's advantage, right? He knows he's invested heavily in spearmen. Now maybe Frank thinks about maybe producing the counter unit.
Yeah.
It would be a bit futile to just send more knights into that.
Oh yeah, you're not getting anything done. An archer switch though would be really strong now.
Yeah,
totally.
An archer switch could be great, and Frank's also taking the time while he's got Mike on the back foot to wall up. Can we get back to the dynasty thing though? Because that was cool.
Okay. There was some really good action we had to go over. But yeah, great hold there by Mike, and for the dynasties that he may be considering. There's a bonus that you get, a unique bonus. There's a unique building that we talked about, the village.
Yep.
And then you actually get a third thing as well, which is you unlock a dynasty unit.
Yeah.
And you can only build that unit while you're in the dynasty, but they're very powerful. So the first dynasty, the unit is the repeater crossbowman.
Yeah.
And he's quite good early game because he fires like a rapid fire set of arrow bolts, I guess you could say. And they're low damage, but there's a lot of them. So they're really good at anything that's unarmored. So archers and spearmen, which you see a lot of early on, they do quite well against. And then if the enemy has knights or man-at-arms, those are armored guys, so they mitigate a ton of the damage, so it's not very good. So I'm not expecting in this particular matchup that we would see the repeater crossbowman because of the access to early knights.
Yeah, and the dynasties are awesome because as you progress through the game, the dynasties get a little stronger as well. They give you that versatility. That you also get to build both landmarks. So your potential power level is so high at the end. And the final dynasty, Ming, which who knows if we'll get there this game, but Ming gives you all your military units more health. So it's like the ultimate final dynasty. Let's go, ready to go.
And the landmarks kind of synergize too with the whole unique units because you lose access to the units. So you could build the repeater crossbowman, and then if you go to Ming, you no longer have access to that repeater, but we have a landmark in Age 4 that unlocks all the previous dynasty units. So if you had gotten access to it before, you can go back and get it again.
Frank now, he's just actually reached the castle age.
Whoa.
And I'm surprised Mike didn't push out an attack. He's got free and easy access to Frank's side of the map through the center, but he's holding off. But now is a good time to attack because Age 3's just come in. He's invested all his resources. And Frank has made switching to Arbaleteer. Excuse the pronunciation.
I thought that was spot on. It sounded fantastic.
This is another unique unit to the French. It is a crossbowman, and they have the unique Pervice ability, which gives them 5 ranged armor when deployed. This is really cool, actually, and he actually went up with the Guildhall upgrade. Let's talk about that in a minute, because I think we've got a big fight coming in. Can Frank hold this?
Look at all those torches.
That's going to be so much damage. I mean, there are the Arbaleteer at the back doing some good damage.
I like that he's repairing it, though. He's slowing it down, and the spearmen are just getting wailed on here, right? Like, he doesn't have a real good way to deal with these crossbows, right? And they can just kind of kite him if they go back, so...
And what does killing this landmark really give Mike right now because he's not really too worried about cavalry
Oh
anyway,
no,
right?
no cavalry can attack me, right?
Yeah. Although it is part of a victory condition, destroy all the landmarks to win the game. But realistically, does he get to destroy all 3 landmarks now? Well, he's retreating, so maybe not.
Yeah, his army's not big enough because a bunch of villagers were garrisoning the town center, so they were shooting a bunch. All these arbaletaires, latreurs, were shooting. So yeah, spearmen are just not a very effective unit against ranged stuff, basically.
Yeah, I mean, they've held the line for now. These units aren't particularly strong against like light units typically. Like the crossbowman is really geared towards being good against cavalry, like heavy cavalry and men at arms. But the fact that they're ranged, the fact that they have the protection of the town center is enough for now. Guildhall, this was his Age 3 landmark. This is really cool. Like, so, man, I love this landmark. It's so cool.
It's really fun.
Like, basically, you get to select which of the 4 resources you want to generate. So you can generate food, wood, gold, or stone. And it passively builds up a bank inside of the building, and it's ready to collect whenever you like. So the longer you leave it, however, the more resources it will accrue and the faster it will start to accrue them. So if you leave it for like a couple of minutes, it's going to be generating resources a lot faster than it is when you initially switch to a new resource.
Because it starts off, it's only giving you like 20 at a time or something, right?
So it's kind of like the longer you wait, the bigger the reward.
Yeah.
But the value of this landmark is entirely linked to actually collecting those resources. And you can see he just did it there. He collected the gold, he switched it over to stone, and now he's got a little bit of a gold boost, but he's going to start generating stone passively.
Look at his gold. It really makes sense that he switched over to stone there, right? Because he has a huge amount of gold now.
Man, I love that he's going for the Arbaletier, though. I wonder what his game plan is here. Mike is entirely going into Spearman. But that said, I do see some Palace Guard at the back. This is one of the unique units for the Chinese as well. The Chinese have a lot of unique units,
They have
actually.
a lot.
Come to think of it.
They have like the Dynasty units. They have this, the Nest of Bees as well. They have quite a few unique units.
Yeah.
And the Palace... Excuse me. The Palace Guard is quite cool because it's their spin on the normal man-at-arms unit, but it's quite a bit different in the same way that like the English longbow has sort of like advantages and disadvantages. This unit here, the Palace Guard, it has less armor than a normal man-at-arms, so it's actually a little bit weaker in that case, but it makes up for it in movement speed. Yeah. These guys truck. They are fast.
So fast. Yeah. And you feel that immediately when you're using this. It's like, oh, I've got the tankiness of a man-at-arms, but I'm like that much faster as well.
Oh yeah, great raiding unit. It can position very quickly. Yeah, it's really fun to use.
Oh, and speaking of Nest of Bees, Mike actually went to the Castle Age here with the astronomical clock tower. This creates the unique clock tower variants of the core siege units. Well, core except for the Nest of Bees.
Right. So it's basically a super siege workshop, basically, where it produces everything your siege workshop can do normally and 50% extra health on your siege engines, which they have a lot of health. So 50% bonus on top of that is quite nice.
Yeah. And here we see the clock tower Nest of Bees. This is kind of infamous, I think, after the stress test and the close beta.
Oh, you're killing me.
But, oh my goodness, on the water we've got a Galleass as well. Okay, I think things are about to get pretty intense
It's
here.
heating up,
Yeah.
it's heating up, definitely.
Let's talk about the Nest of Bees.
So it's kind of a replacement for the Mangonel, so it's really good against masses of troops. And we're seeing actually the Pavise here used by the French player, so it's taking reduced damage from the Barbican shots.
And this is so smart. He's doing this because he wants to tank for his boats.
Yeah.
Right? Because arrows from holds get bonus damage against boats.
A lot. Yeah, they hit really hard.
They really hit. And he's got 10 units in there, so he's firing 10 arrows plus the cannon. So he's tanking with his Arbaletier while he repairs his boat with a villager. And then he uses the Galleass, which is a unique French ship, to actually siege the landmark.
Because it does a lot of damage.
120 bombard. He doesn't get a bonus, but it's enough to actually lay into this. And Mike's like, hang on a minute. What's going on? I don't know what to do.
What are you doing? Where do these boats come from?
This is awesome. What an awesome game. This is so smart by Frank, though. Like, this is really intelligent play. And he's actually going to take this out by the looks of it.
Yeah, it looks. So he does have these nested bees though,
Yeah.
and nested bees are very good against masses of infantry. So if he can position them correctly, he could really do a number on these arbaletiers.
That's what I'm thinking, right?
But
They're
the
really-
boats are kind of like they have a really nice synergy between the two units, right?
Shoot, yeah, you're right. I mean, that's really a good point because they have such high range.
Yeah.
They could potentially just snipe the nest of bees. But
Oh,
there's
he's dropping a
coming up.
keep. He's dropping a keep. He's got to fight. He's
No,
got to fight.
He has to. He has no choice. Let's see if
Look
he
at all
can
the
use
torches,
the boats
though.
to get onto the meadow.
Oh, nest of bees on the villagers. Oh,
They're getting wiped out. Oh my
rough.
goodness. Oh, is that a demo ship? He's actually bringing a demo ship.
Demo ship. Demo
Oh
ship.
no!
Run,
Oh,
run. Oh, his whole army.
Oh my goodness.
No.
Wow. Oh, the Barbican. Is the Barbican still alive? I think it's
Yeah, he
it's still
garrisoned a
alive.
couple guys in there.
He's
protected
using the
from the
galleass
demo
to
ship.
take down the clock tower nest of bees here, but he's so thankful to have the extra health.
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit of
yeah.
extra tankiness.
And they're doing really good. They got a nice volley on the arbaletiers. Did a ton of damage. But now the galleasses have moved forward and they're attacking the nest of bees. Oh, they just finished off the Barbican.
Wow. This is incredible. I'm loving this. This is awesome. Yeah, and the keep is up as well. He finished the keep, so that
Look
means
at the
that
keep.
Mike has to go back.
It's pretty weak though. Look at the keep's health.
Oh, that's true.
Because the torches were being thrown before the big explosion,
yeah,
right?
you're
He had a
right.
lot of torches.
Wow, and
But
he's
this
putting
ram-
a springald emplacement on here.
Nice.
That's smart.
And they really like fighting over the center middle map, right? It's just such
Yeah.
a key strategic location here. And he looked like he was gonna move the ram forward and attack it, but the galleasses do so much damage, right? They're just gonna pierce through the ram.
Yeah. You know what? I'm wondering, like, I'm seeing that. Oh, dear. That's a little bit of out of position
Uh-oh.
springald. Yeah, I'm wondering. Frank's got the sacred site in the north. There's a sacred site in the south, and on this map, I believe there's only 2 sacred sites.
Correct.
I
Yep.
wonder if he's thinking, like, what if he like lands across with a transport and like
Ooh,
fortifies this and goes
sneaky.
for a sacred rim? I mean, it could be an option, right?
Yeah. And it's definitely tough because it's on the enemy's side.
Yeah.
So they can attack it a lot easier than you can defend it, but you only need to defend it for 10 minutes with Sacred Victory, and then you just win the game.
Yeah, it's an option. Let's see. I mean, who knows? He's actually still taking sheep right now, but this is kind of critical moment in the game because you got to start making that farm transition. See, he doesn't really have much wood.
Yeah.
This is a great time to actually switch the guild hall to wood potentially.
Totally,
Currently,
totally.
it's holding 500 stone, so he could be building a lot more keeps this game. And he's also started to trade, and that's something we've not really discussed too much about. But the French have pretty good traders as
Yeah.
well. They also get to select which resource they want to trade for, which
Very
is
cool.
a really nice, unique bonus. At the moment, he's trading for gold, but he could
Fair
switch
enough.
it to wood or food if he wanted to as well.
And you're talking about that farm transition. He has 35 villagers on
Yeah.
wood now because he realized the food's out
Yeah.
and my people are hungry. And this is really cool. Like we saw he was trading for the stone. So what's like sort of his plan here with the stone and the stables and stuff?
Yeah, so we mentioned it earlier, but the influence of the French keep is that buildings made around it, specifically the stable and the archery range, get reduced cost of units in those buildings. So you can see here it's 25% reduction, but you can improve that with the unique tech enlistment incentives to a 35% reduction to cost, which is kind of the late game scaling for the French.
Yeah,
right? They
strong.
get faster villager production in the early game, but that falls off as you reach your sort of
There's a limit to that, right?
Exactly. And your cheap attacks are nice, but you don't surpass other civs with that. This allows you to get that big late game boost that you need because the French army is quite expensive. Royal Knights aren't cheap,
Totally.
Arbaletier aren't cheap.
Also pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Yep.
So and Siege isn't cheap either, but doesn't receive the influence.
He's got a nice looking army here too, with a good mix. There's some Springolds in there. There's some Mangonels along with the high Arbaletier counter, but it could be. That looks like it's gonna be kind of dangerous to fight against this army of Mike with all the Nesta bees.
Yeah, I think that's why he's got the Springolds. I mean, there are a lot of Nesta bees in here. There's
Yeah.
6, and they're the clock tower variants. So, he's got to be careful. He's got another demo ship poised and ready. I love that, but he's actually making a switch by the looks of it into cavalry now. Now, this is interesting because, you know, Mike has got a lot of spearmen, but he's placing a lot of stables down here. So I wonder what the game plan is. Do you think he's trying to maybe think about raiding, holding the choke point and trying to raid and get into the eco? Or is he making a switch to Royal Knights later on just for the sheer power?
I would say both, actually, because it's an excellent raiding unit. Even one knight will kill a villager in usually 3 hits.
That's true.
So you just get one knight in there, and even, you know, you can spice a couple of knights throughout the enemy's base, and he's got a lot of hardship to deal with, basically. So A, there's that, and B, it's just a powerful unit, right? Just like having knights, they do a ton of damage, and as long as he can take care of the spearmen, his knights will be able to reign supreme on the battlefield.
So I like what's going on here. Mike's deploying the clock tower trebuchet, the counterweight. It's currently ranging the keep, and Frank's kind of built a dock here to actually heal up his galleass passively, because boats within the radius of the dock will heal, which is really nice. He's trying to come forward with his springolds as well and snipe that. But look at that, 3 springolds don't quite take out the nest of bees here, and the springold is your anti-siege siege. I wonder, though, as this game goes on, if Frank's thinking about the Imperial Age, maybe he'll go with the College of Artillery so he can make Culverin, which could be interesting.
Yeah, help give him the extra range and advantage.
Yeah.
Definitely needs it against all these clock tower springolds.
Yeah, and this is really getting locked down here.
And he hasn't lost any of them. Look, he's just repairing it up with the villagers, and the extra health is just, he's able to take some hits and keep surviving and keep growing his army.
Look at this. Mike is really expanding his economy in the back here. He's got, well, they're farms, but they're actually growing rice when you're playing as
beautiful.
the Chinese.
Yeah, I really like the visual update on that. It's so cool.
And, yeah, he's kind of expanding that eco. It doesn't look like he's actually in a dynasty right now. He's kind of maybe waiting for Ming, but at the moment he's just really focusing on building up his siege and making the most of that.
Ooh, there's an interesting fight here. The galleass against the... Oh, those cannons are doing... Oh, no, look, the torches. Run away. Paddle quick. Oh, uh-oh.
Oh, and more demos are coming in. I think Mike learned his lesson.
He's like, oh, not again. I'm not doing that.
Not falling for that one.
Yeah, he focus fired those springolds immediately.
And now the springolds are interesting because they actually have decent damage, right, against boats as well.
Yeah.
They really do chunk away at them. And oh my goodness, another demo ship.
Oh no, he blew up a few troops, but pretty good overall.
Yeah. Galleass
He's
actually
really trying to kill those springolds, right? That's a lot of torches. They both ran away. It was like, let's not fight anymore. Let's just be friends.
Who's winning out here, though? I mean, it's going to be so hard to push into the nest of bees.
Oh, God. Oh.
That's so
brutal.
Painful. It's so painful.
That's a lot of dead arbaletiers. Oh.
But what I love about
this...
this...
And the keep. Oh, the keep goes down.
You're right. And what I gotta say, what I love about this is just that these trebuchets really forced this, right? They really used the range of the trebuchet to force this. Frank had to go to Mike here.
Yep.
And now he's on the back foot here after taking pretty heavy losses as he pushed in.
Yeah, that was painful. He lost both the boats, right? He's got no more naval there. They were doing a really good job of holding down that choke point as well. Like they hit really hard. They do a lot of damage.
And Mike's just like, yep, that's a pretty good spot for a keep.
I'm gonna claim this land actually for my own. I'm taking over.
This is brilliant. I'm loving this. And he's, like I say, gonna build that keep so much faster as well.
Yeah.
He's also made a switch into some archers, which, you know, I don't know how I feel about that. Against the Arbaletier, they're not as good because the Pavis obviously gives them the ranged armor.
Yeah,
but,
totally.
Yeah,
and then he knows he's playing against French, and that there's gonna be cavalry, right?
Yeah.
So archers do not do well against cavalry, so
no, absolutely
kind of an interesting decision on the archers, but it does. They were sort of playing like a ranged game where no one really wanted to engage with melee troops, so just having some extra range damage is always good.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the other side, we see Mike actually throwing down a lot of stables now. He's actually going into horsemen and doing the veteran tech. So I think the plan for Mike will be to maybe hold the choke point and do some raiding, as we spoke about earlier.
Totally.
I thought it might be Frank doing the raiding, but it looks like it's going to be Mike here as he drops down another key. And he's doing boiling oil, so anything that runs past these will be taking a lot of damage from the oil. As Frank actually reaches the Imperial Age. which landmark did he go up with? I'm just
Good
trying
question.
to find it
Ooh,
right
he's
now.
got 4 relics.
Oh, wow, that's really nice.
Well done.
Fantastic. Where's his age 4 landmark? There it is. It's the College of Artillery.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
This is awesome. So this is one of the, obviously one of the 2 landmarks, but it allows them to make the royal cannons, the royal revolticans, and the royal culverins.
And what does royal mean?
Well, if you're the French, you get a lot of royal stuff.
Yeah.
The College of Artillery, though, allows them to make all the siege immediately upon reaching the Imperial Age, but it gives them 20% more damage. And, of course, it gives them access to the Culverin, which is the extremely long-range, very effective anti-siege siege. It's a bit better than the Springald. By a bit better, I mean a lot better.
Hard. Plus 204 versus siege.
I mean, that's exactly what you need against the clock tower siege, though, right? It
Yeah.
has 50% more health,
Yeah.
so it's the perfect answer. But this is scary. This is really scary. Mike has
Triple
3
heat.
heaves. He's got a ton of siege back here. He's got the Trebs in the
just
back.
wailing.
Frank's feeling probably pretty
Feeling
on edge right now.
constricted. Yeah. This is a tough situation, definitely.
The Culverins, though, I wonder if the Culverins will be able to push this back. And if not just the Culverins, but also the
The
bombards.
demo ship. Is it gonna blow up? Is it gonna blow up? Is it gonna get killed?
I don't think he's noticed.
No, I don't think so.
What if
either.
Mike actually torches this by mistake, and then it blows
kills
up
it?
and kills
He's
all
hitting
of his
it,
units?
he's hitting
Is that
it.
gonna happen? I mean, he kind of doesn't want the repair from the
No!
dock. There we go. Oh man, I love it.
Those
Okay,
demo ships are so good.
we got veteran horsemen out. I mean, Frank's losing military production buildings though.
A lot.
Right?
He
Like,
lost a second keep.
He's gonna have to rebuild these somewhere.
This is, because like you're saying, right, with the influence area, he's gonna have to pay more for his troops if he doesn't have that, he's losing all these keeps around here.
Yeah, totally. And he's actually got very few military production buildings. He's trying to rebuild
Yeah,
them
look,
in
he's
the back.
rebuilding them not next to a keep, right? That's a lot of lost resources.
But I have to say, he's an age ahead of Mike, so he's able to do the elite tech now. He's actually using the monks to heal up his horsemen.
They
as
already
well.
got all the relics,
Yeah.
so put them to work, right?
And this could be really good for him because he could actually try and get in here and kill these archers, which the horsemen are really effective at. And he's got the Culverins, which is great to stall and slow Mike down. And in the south, he is actually capturing the sacred site.
Oh, nice. And he's got a keep there,
Yeah.
so it's defended. Yeah, he built a monastery just so he didn't have to worry about transporting over. Nice.
So this is really awesome right now as he comes in. Deploy the Pavis, man.
Do it.
Pavis down.
So he's got the Culverins fighting the Springolds. But look how many
so
Springolds.
many
Look how many
Springolds.
Springolds.
My
He's got to back
goodness.
up. He's got to repair.
Wow, he's got like what is it, like 8 or 9 Springolds
That was
there?
a lot of Springolds.
Yes, but look at the damage from the horsemen. They actually wiped the archers here.
Yeah, and they killed some of the nest of bees too, I think, right? There's only 2 bees left there?
Yeah, and Frank now kind of microing back with his Culverin using
Yeah.
the extended range.
Yep.
And he's actually starting to pick off
Oh,
the
there goes
Springolds
another
as
one.
well.
Yep.
I mean, this is going to be hard for Frank to push into normally.
Yeah, he did lose. He had a cannon. Right?
Yeah.
He had a cannon up there, and that got killed.
But that's all he needs to do now, right? Make the
Oh,
cannon.
look, he's picking off more. He killed another nest of bees. It walked forward too far, and the Springolds got it. Or, sorry, the Culverins.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually going to be a really good hold from Frank, I think. I mean, how does Mike push into the Culverin right now? I think he needs to get in there with some cav or something.
That's a perfect answer, actually. We scrolled north
Yeah.
and there it was.
And we say cav, I mean, this isn't just any cavalry. This is Fire Lancer.
Yeah.
He's actually gone for the dynasty.
Nice. Okay, so that means, yep, he's built the Imperial Palace. So that's the second landmark in the castle age. And Imperial Palace is pretty cool for a couple reasons. It has a huge line of sight, and it also has this ability you can activate that lets you see all of the enemy villagers.
Look at that. He can see all the way across the river
Yeah,
with that
he can see
thing.
what's
Yeah.
going on. Very nice. You can see the enemy docks, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, with Imperial Spies, you activate it, and then for a couple seconds, it reveals all of the enemy villagers for you. So you know exactly where to go to raid, you know what they're up to and what they're trying to produce and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a really cool landmark.
And he's got Fire Lancers as well, which is the light cavalry, one of the lead units for the Chinese.
Yeah, and the cool thing, whoa, he just pasted that cannon.
Whoa, I mean, fire, it's in the name,
Woo!
right?
There,
It's in the
yeah,
name.
there's fire, like of course. Oh, is
and
he going for
more.
the Culverins?
He's just gonna snipe them out.
Oh, they can't run away. There's nothing they can do. Oh, he's going for the last one. Uh-oh.
Brutal.
Uh-oh. So the Fire Lancer's special thing is having really strong torches, which means that they kill buildings quickly, and also they use their torches on siege weapons, as everything does in this game. So they kill the siege weapons very quickly. So that was a devastating blow, because those culverins were killing a lot of units. And you can see this little fiery explosion when they attack as well. So they have a charge attack that does an AoE.
Well, it's actually, I mean, the Fire Lance is a real weapon from history, right? Like this,
Yeah.
you can see it here. It's actually got like a firework attached to the end that
so
like
cool.
propels it forward. It's awesome. And they're really, yeah, they make a really big like charge impact, but they don't have a lot of like staying power.
Yeah, they have like
quite-
less hit points than normal cavalry, so they're weaker in that way, but when you get them in the right position on siege weapons, they paste.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering what's happening down here. How has Frank not captured this? Do you think this villager was a monk?
I
or
thought it
something?
was! I
Like-
thought it was! It's disguised.
I thought he captured this earlier, but I guess
No,
not.
that's the villager that's
Yeah.
been there the whole time.
And now Mike's pushing in. I wonder, you know, maybe Frank's big mistake here is
Fire
actually being-
Lancers!
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, look how much damage they took! Oh, those Fire Lancers doing so good. And now he's got also the fire from the keep attacking these wounded
Gonna
horsemen.
rip Baltican out.
Oh, the Fire Lancers, no!
I mean, the Rebaldican, not really the best unit for the job here. Certainly better against infantry than Cav. But yeah, if Frank can just like defend his culverin, I mean, that's the big if. I don't know if he can at this rate.
He wasn't ready for the Fire Lancer.
Yeah.
Like he needed to have spearmen to deal with them, really.
It was a great switch from Mike.
Yeah,
Really good
very
switch.
cool.
And I wonder if Frank's mistake, I was going to say this before, it's like he didn't capture this. He never put the pressure on Mike to respond to this.
Yeah, yeah.
And now Mike's really made some great progress in towards Frank's base, and he's starting to lose his landmarks now. This could actually just be a landmark victory. He's losing his town center,
Yeah,
his college
yeah.
of artillery is here, and his guild hall is over here.
He never repaired that that school of cavalry from the beginning of the game, because it costs a lot of wood to repair it, right?
Yeah.
It's not cheap, so he just decided to do other things instead.
Yeah, actually the landmarks, they do cost wood to repair, so if you want to repair them all four, like all three, it's going to cost you a lot. Frank
Yeah.
doesn't have a lot.
Yeah. And we saw earlier, right? He was trying to build farms, so he had no wood. So I think he's just kind of been pretty short on wood, and also making all the siege equipment is very wood intensive, right?
Yeah. And now he's getting raided in the north. He's lost his gold access there, although
Oh.
I mean, no,
Not really a problem right
problem.
now.
But
Well-
losing the villages is a problem.
Yeah.
And getting thrown into disarray is a problem as well.
Being in chaos
Yes.
is a slight problem, actually. What's his guild hall at right now? I'm wondering.
It's on food actually, and that's fair. I mean, he has got a lot of food gatherers, but he's hurting for food right now. He's trying to spend it on the Royal Knights. He doesn't have the elite upgrade at the moment. It could be in queue somewhere, but it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, he doesn't really have
Yeah.
the food for it. And he just lost his town center landmark
No.
as well. So he's got.
1, 2, 3 dead landmarks here, and the Trebs should just start focusing on the guild hall.
Oh,
for
look,
the
he's
W
going with
now.
the Fire Lancers. They're all running right for it. He knows.
That's
He's
huge.
going for the throat. And what are you gonna stop him with, right?
He's got nothing,
Horsemen
nothing
are
left.
like a raiding unit, right? They're not gonna kill him very quickly.
and that's it.
Down it goes.
GG.
Good game.
Wow, that was fantastic. I love how creative
Yeah.
they were with this game, fighting over the middle. Like, obviously the most hotly contested area of the map, but the way that they approached that, using the ships, using the nest of bees, ranging with the Trebs, putting the landmarks there,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
Oh my gosh, that was a really fun, cool match. I'm glad we got this Mongolian Heights map,
Yeah.
and also a lot of sheep is another standout feature. So yeah, very fun map, lots of cool stuff going on. Epic match.
Epic match. All right, well, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll have the Q&A right after this, and if you're watching on YouTube, stay tuned. We've got another one coming up next week.
Right on. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Ryan, I think you're muted.
I am muted. My headset mic. Muting my headset, but not in software, so I should be good now. Alright, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully you enjoyed that show match there between the Chinese and French. I saw in chat a lot of you were cheering it on, watching, enjoying. cheering on, laughing at some of the crazy stuff going on. I know for Zach and Eric, they had a lot of fun watching this. Probably a good spot to introduce ourselves. You've already met myself and Elliot, but for those who might not be aware, we're also joined for this discussion here with Zach and Eric, the two also being the ones you heard their beautiful voices as they were commenting on that game. So, Zach, Eric, tell us a bit about yourself and what you do.
Hello. Yeah, they're probably sick of hearing us by now, as we've been casting all these games. But
A
it's been
voice
a lot
like
of
that,
fun.
Zach, I would never get tired of it.
To be
Oh,
fair,
Eric.
also some of these
Eric.
people, this is probably their first time here. Not everyone's seen every week, but maybe you have some big fans. If you're,
Well, if they haven't seen every week, they should go to the YouTube channel and check it out, because there's more games out there that we cast, and they're also showing off the civs as well.
yeah. And to those of you in chat who are huge fans of Zach and Eric, let them know in chat as well. Cheer them on. But yes, we're gonna just introduce them every time, just because there are people joining for the first time. Not everyone has seen our past streams. We want these to stand on their own. So if you join us for 1 week but not the other, it's all you're seeing everything as well. So a little bit about what's going to happen next is, now that we've shown the show match, we're going to have Zach and Eric do a little bit of roundtable discussion talking about the game, and then we will also bring on some questions from social media, some questions from Twitch chat here, and run them by them. We don't have time to answer everything. I'm going to say that up front. We will keep all of your questions, though. They are ones that we want to know what you think. We want to know your questions. We are collecting all these, even if we can't answer them all on stream. They are stuff as a team we do go back and share, so people can see what all of you in the community are curious about. So with that, I think I'll just turn this over straight to Zach and Eric to talk if there's anything they want to just follow up with straight away from that match.
Yeah, maybe like a high-level recap of kind of like the key points and strategic sort of things that happened in that battle. So the first big thing, right, was Frank dropping the Knights off with the transport ship and getting into the base, and there was nothing to stop them, basically. So they were just like running around causing all kinds of chaos, but the Chinese player was able to like run the villagers away and create that wall to save them, and that bought him enough time to get the spearmen out and defend. So that was a really good hold. It could have been really immense damage when you're not prepared for knights. They do a lot of damage. They have that charge attack, which hits really hard, and it also increases their move speed while they're running towards the target. And then the next big thing that happened, I'd say, was that sort of that fight in the middle over the Barbican, and the galleass for the French. It was a really cool tactic to see him building those things, but they also cost a large amount of resources. So while that allowed Frank to sort of, control that area and push back the Chinese player, he couldn't kind of keep pressing his luck after that, right? Because the boats only had 8 range, they couldn't attack anything else. So that kind of like slowed down his advance. And while he was doing that, the Chinese player was able to build an extra town center, and he started producing extra villagers. So he kind of like fell back and created an economic lead for himself, which he was then, able to start pushing forward once those villagers started paying off all the resource costs. And from then on, you just saw Mike was just attacking and attacking. He's able to set up those keeps in the middle, and there just wasn't enough stuff and enough resources to counter that for Frank.
Yeah, I actually think one of the big things there was the use of the trebuchet as well, right? Because Mike had those nest of bees, but he couldn't get too close to the center of the map because the galleass were threatening them, since they would have taken them out so quickly. And so by using the greater range of the trebuchet to actually siege the keep from a long way back, he was able to kind of draw Frank to him, right into the path of the nest of bees, and we just saw how awesome they were. We also got some cool like demolition ship action as well, which is always lovely to see on these water maps.
Oh, those were devastating. That was so cool to see. Because you don't really expect it when you're not playing a water map, right? It's like, oh wait, they're still very good even if I have 0 boats.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, ultimately, that game was, I think that was the best game we've seen so far. Like, it was really fun. Lots of, like, crazy stuff going on. I love how creative they were as well. Sort of really using their SIP bonuses to their advantage.
Yeah, and all their unique units and stuff. Oh, super cool game. I loved watching and casting that.
Yeah, definitely. I remember all of the chaos. Every time you want to bring something up, I hear you two like talking on the show match there, being like, you're starting to get into something. You're like, hold on a second, I gotta pause you while we go look at this crazy stuff going on over here.
Yeah, and that's why we have this post-game chat, right? Because we can answer questions from the chat. We can talk a bit more at length and in more depth about some of the mechanics and things that people want to know about.
Yeah, for sure. And I think one of the things after the show match, after we had all watched it ourselves, when we went through that, one of the things we did want to get into a little bit more was two of the main like kind of unique things for each of the civs. So one is for the Chinese, the tax collector itself, the mechanic of that, and why you'd want to use that and how that works.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting unit because it's got. We saw he was using the supervise ability a whole bunch, which makes the building produce a lot faster and it gives it extra resources. So he was using that to great effect. But when you're not doing that with the officials, they will collect taxes from your buildings. So they kind of move around to the different buildings, and over time, the buildings are increasing the amount of taxes they have, and it's different depending on the type of building, how it will generate. So if it's a drop-off building, anytime resources get dropped off, then it creates a little bit of taxes. If it's a unit-producing building, whenever it produces extra units, or when just every unit gives it more and more taxes. And then if it has upgrades on it, you get a really big chunk of taxes whenever a single upgrade is completed. So each sort of type of building is creating taxes in its own way. And the official will just go between the different buildings automatically. Like, you don't have to micro to move it around, and they'll just grab the taxes, and there's sort of like a little cooldown on each building, so he doesn't just keep going to the same building over and over and over again. In the same way, the tax man isn't going to just keep collecting taxes from you over and over again. Like, he's got to wait until the next year, right? So there's a little bit of cooldown to kind of simulate that, and so he instead travels sort of around your villages, going to the different buildings and collecting taxes, and he can only hold a certain amount, so then he drops it off at your town center and he goes back and collects more taxes.
Yeah, and you're limited by having 4 tax officials at the start of the game. And so like as Eric said, he'll go around and collect them for you automatically. But there's because you're limited in how many you can have, it's a question of, well, do I want him to be supervising? Do I want him going around collecting the tax? It's a really versatile unit.
For sure. Awesome. And the other thing, on the other side of it, not the Chinese civ, but the French, you wanted to talk a little bit more about the early game French economic bonuses as well available there.
Yeah, that's right. So we mentioned in the game that the French town center works faster, so they produce villages in 18 seconds instead of 20, which is pretty substantial. It really adds up over the course of the match. They also get the cheaper tax in the the drop-off buildings, but their drop-off buildings are also cheaper as well. So they only pay 25 wood for a lumber camp or a mining camp, as opposed to 50 like the other civs. So early game, the French are really strong because you have all of these things working together, and they kind of can snowball very effectively if you allow them to. And I think that's where in that game Mike did a really good job of like locking down the middle of the map and walling off to try and just prevent the French player from really snowballing the game too much.
Yeah, the cheaper drop-offs, it's such a simple thing, but it's so kind of like liberating, I guess, when I'm playing the Civ, of like, oh yeah, I can just throw all this stuff down and I don't have to really worry about like collecting a whole bunch of wood early on. So it's definitely, I think, maybe like an underrated bonus of how nice it is in terms of like the ease of mind, and you can just kind of put things where you need to when you need to. You don't have to do quite as much like long-term planning with that part of your game, so you can focus more on like getting your upgrades in the right time and focusing on getting your unit producing buildings out more. So yeah, it's very, very fun to play the French Civ. I definitely like playing them. It's cool.
I would say actually that if you're a newer player, or you're not as familiar with RTS, and maybe the Mongols and the Chinese are a little scary with just how much stuff they have going on. Like, the French is a really good beginner civ because a lot of these bonuses are kind of passive and you sort of benefit from them sort of over time, and you don't really have to worry too much about the details. Like, it's just very comfortable and rewarding to play the French.
Oh, way to go. Saying I play the easy Civ, huh, Zach?
French are my favorites, actually.
But that's kind of why we have that star system, right? When you're selecting your Civ, is we wanted some sort of like easier Civs that you could just get into if you weren't as like familiar with the game, and then the more advanced ones with like crazy mechanics and hero units and stuff like the Mongols have. So we kind of wanted something for all the different play styles, and all sort of everyone can find something they will really, really enjoy and will speak to them when they're playing Age of Empires 4.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Elliot, do you have any questions you saw come up, or I can hop on with another one as well?
Yeah, I mean, question for me that I saw the chat had spun up here is when you're activating a dynasty, is there a way to take a specific order in which dynasties take priority? So like, again, if you were just watching the match, the Chinese Civ, the unique part of their Civ bonus is that they can select two different landmarks in the same age essentially, and then it creates a dynasty. So is there a way to pick or choose a different or specific dynasty in game?
Yeah, so whatever dynasty you get basically overwrites the old dynasty, so you'll no longer have the one you start with and you'll go to a new one. So there can be some interesting planning, like, yeah, sure, you could go into like the feudal age and then the castle age and then the imperial age dynasty, like you could kind of do it in lockstep like that if you want to, but you can do it in whatever order you want, right? Like you could actually go for the imperial age dynasty first, and kind of ignore the other ones if you want. Like we designed it to be a very versatile and open and flexible system. And to that point, whenever you get a dynasty, you're unlocking a new unit. So in the feudal age, you're getting the repeater crossbowman. In the castle age, you get the fire lancer. We saw a lot of that. And then the last one is the grenadier unit. And once you leave the dynasty, you lose access to that unit. You can't build it anymore. So your current dynasty is really important to strategically plan around. And to make it smoother, we created an Age 4 landmark that allows you to still build the dynasty units even if you're not in that dynasty anymore. So you really like repeater crossbowmen, for example, but you're now in the Imperial Age, the Ming dynasty, you can still get access to those by building a landmark to be able to do that.
And in terms of whether or not you want to do them in a specific order or how early you might want to do them, it depends. It depends on the map. It depends on you as a player, what you want to do, and it may even depend what your opponent's doing. So as Eric said, there's a lot of flexibility there. The Song Dynasty, which is the first dynasty you'll move into after you start in Tang, that's sort of giving you the ability to make a lot of villagers and boom. But if you're on a map where you're getting rushed really aggressively, then maybe that doesn't always make sense, and maybe you want to not go for the dynasty in that situation. So there's that flexibility there. And then with the other dynasties, again, depending on the map, depending on the situation. However, there is a tech in the university at the end of the game where you will get a global production speed boost based on the number of dynasties you've achieved. So if you do achieve all three, you can maximize that bonus as well. So it's like a little extra incentive. If you haven't reached them all, you still may want to for that.
Awesome. So have a few questions switching over to a little bit on the French here. So about the Royal Knight charge ability, wondering what's special compared to that of regular knights? Is it an AoE attack? Does it do more damage? People basically saw in the clips that it did decimate the men-at-arms with ease back in the E3 clips we showed, but just wondering a bit more on the Royal Knight charge ability for that.
Sure. So for the Royal Knights, the charge damage itself is not higher, but they get for 3 seconds after they charge, they get a damage boost to their main weapon. And that sort of incentivizes and encourages that sort of hit and run, because you charge in, you obviously do a lot of damage with the lance, and then you get a large amount of damage in addition to your regular weapon for the first 3 seconds of combat, and then you go back to normal. There is a technology called Canceled Saddles, though, and that will actually increase the amount of bonus damage after you've completed the charge. So that's worth getting if you're into hit and run style play. But yeah, the Royal Bloodlines tech is also available to the French. That sort of replaces the biology technology in the university. That would traditionally give cavalry an extra 20% health, but for the French it's 35%. So their sort of late game scaling is better than any other knight in the game.
Awesome. One thing just came to mind just as I was scouring for questions from social media when you said the canted saddles. All people I saw in comments, and I can't unhear it, is scented candles. It's a bit of flipping around in my head. People all want to know about the scented candles, the canted saddles. I was just reading that and I'm just like, that is just absolutely no. Not there weren't scented candles back in this day. I mean, I don't know. Maybe historically there might have been some form, but that is not what you're fighting people with.
They had
Okay.
a
Not
scent.
this
I don't
time.
know if it was always good back then, right?
Yeah, I don't know about that. All right, let's keep going with a little bit of the French here, and I am very terrible at pronunciation, but the Arbalétrier Pavis, the skill they have work, is it similar to the Longbowman's Palings?
The Pavis. Yeah, Eric, do you want to answer this one?
Yeah, sure. So the Pavis is a defensive thing, just the way that you would expect to get the longbow's palings, but it's different in the units it helps provide effectiveness for. So it's giving you 5 armor, but it's just 5 ranged armor. So it's not going to help against melee or cavalry at all, but we saw in the game it used very effectively against a keep because it was taking a lot less damage from all the arrows that the keep was shooting. And another cool way to use it is sort of flipping some standard relationships. So normally, with our sort of rock, paper, scissors type thing, the archers are very powerful and cost effective against crossbows. But if you get this 5 extra ranged armor as the archers are attacking really fast, it gives a huge combat benefit to you if you can activate that. So it's definitely strategic. You don't want to, necessarily always just throw it down. You want to save it for the right time because there is also a cooldown. So, you can use it if like the enemy town center is shooting at you. You want to sort of like get into a good position and then activate it, kind of like try to lock down that area.
Another key difference is with the palings, it takes 5 seconds to deploy the palings, whereas the Pavis is nearly instant. So the palings, you can actually use it quite aggressively. Palings you use defensively. The Pavis you can use quite aggressively because you can sort of run straight at your opponent and then deploy them, and then you've got that big armor boost for 30 seconds. So
Totally.
you can really bully players around the map with that.
Cool. Actually, one follow-up from that, just you saying you can kind of go in and bully with this. Would you say that the French Civ is considered micro-heavy?
Well, we were saying before it's kind of like a 1 star in difficulty. So I wouldn't say it's like super micro heavy. They do have that activated ability, but like we were saying, it's like, well, you just press it once and then it's just active for you for a while. So wouldn't say French is micro heavy. But they do have interesting gameplay mechanics they're executing on, like the keep bonus, right, where you're building stables and archery ranges around the keep, right? That's not really a micro heavy thing, but there is still like interesting strategy and planning you're doing with the Civ.
Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely. And I would also add to that as well that, it, as Eric says, it's not micro heavy, but that's not like there's no micro, because you still might want to be kind of tricky with your Pavis. You may want to hit and run with your cavalry. But in terms of the type of micro you're doing, it's probably a little simpler than maybe the Mongols or the Abbasid or something like that.
Awesome. Elliot, do you have any questions, or do you want me to continue along? I don't want to steal your show. I want you to get in here as well.
No, if you got more questions, go for it. I'm gonna keep looking for more. So.
All right, yeah, and to everyone in
Right.
chat, if you have questions, feel free to toss any questions you have in chat. Members of our team will then gather all of those. We will answer the ones we can. Right now, we don't have time for all of them. We will probably only be able to answer a few more on this stream before we have to hop off, but we will be doing these streams every week until launch. So, let me find a good question for you guys. Let's see, what do we have? This is kind of it's not super in depth for any Civ, but trading in general, how worth it does it feel? Someone says that it feels like not enough gold for the long trip, but is this something you should focus a lot of time on trading? How valuable is this in a game you're playing?
So there's a couple of factors with the trading. So one is definitely the civilization that you're playing, because quite a few of the civs get some pretty juicy bonuses to trading. So we saw the French in this game do the one that gave you sort of like a super stables, basically. But their other landmark, it acts as a trading post, and it actually gives you a 30% bonus to the trade income that it's getting. And French can switch which resource they're getting. So if you're building a bunch of traders, especially early in the game, if you make too many, you'll actually get like a huge amount of gold, and you can't actually spend that gold fast enough. So a really nice thing with the French is then you can switch over and start getting some food to go along with the gold, so you can like produce a big army to defend your trade route. And another example is like the Abbasids have the discount to their traders, so they can build them a lot cheaper, so it's a lot more efficient to build the traders. And then like the Mongols have a mechanic where they're getting bonus resources the more traders they get. So it definitely depends on what civ you're playing, and then also where you are in the game, because the traders will just keep generating gold for forever, while the gold deposits on the map will eventually run out. So we've seen some of our high level plays that one player mines all the gold out, and then they can't build enough traders fast enough to transition and start creating gold units, that the other guy is able to just roll them over because he already built up that trade economy, and he's able to keep building like cannons and knights and stuff like that. They're really gold expensive units.
There's also a bit more to trade as well, in that in a 1v1 you can trade with the neutral settlements, and you actually get a trade bonus for trading with the neutral settlements, because oftentimes it's not the longest trade route. Usually it's kind of suboptimal. I think in that game we saw Frank trading like a quarter of the map distance, and the way trade works typically is, you know, the longer the trade route, the more valuable it is in terms of like the gold you get for the time you're trading for. In a team game, you can obviously have a really optimal trade route, because you know you can place your markets yourself, and your ally can place it on the furthest side, and then you will get a much better rate. But the trade with neutral settlements does have that 20% bonus to help compensate, but sometimes it's still kind of on the low side compared to if you had a perfect trade route with a teammate, for example.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Elliot, I think you have a question?
Right. Yeah, this is just to pivot a little away from the specific match, but more just a general question from the chat here. But is how is balance tied with civ difficulty? Like, will some civs just be easier in a competitive setting, or do certain civs have like a higher skill cap mechanic that if there's a need for them, for example?
We're balancing all the civs to be equal in terms of power level against each other. So we kind of look at that by breaking up civ balance into a couple different sort of categories or pieces. So we have like the economic piece, and so we make sure every civ has the same sort of net resources they're getting from their economy, and they're just sort of doing that in different ways. So it might be, you know, in raiding the enemy, or it might be in hunting, or it might be in doing religion, whatever that civ's focus. They're all end result is they're getting sort of the same amount of resources. And then in terms of the unique units they have, we make sure that the unique units are all sort of the same power level and efficiency based on, you know, like the resources they spend and the damage they do and stuff like that. So we sort of break down these pieces of like the unique techs and the unique units and the unique economic stuff to make sure that all units, all civs have the same general power level across sort of the whole course of the game. And we also have data that we'll be looking at for the live game as well, because while we play games every single day, when there's millions of you guys playing every day, that's a lot more games and a lot more data, right? So we're really excited to get the game out to people and start being able to analyze this game and making smaller, fine micro adjustments to the current balance we already have.
And as Eric said, like, we're trying to make sure that the end result of every civ is that the power level is roughly the same. But in terms of how you get there, obviously it's going to be different depending on the civ that you're playing. Civs like the French, as we spoke about earlier, a lot of the bonuses are passive, so it just kind of make it easier. That's why it's one of the 1-star civs. If you want the challenge, you know, you can pick the Mongols, you can pick something like the Abbasid or the Chinese, and it may be a little harder to extract the 100% out of the civ, but it's possible, and that's kind of what we're balancing around.
Awesome. All right. I think that probably brings us pretty much the end of the show. We're already at 4 p.m. here. I want to be respectful of everyone's time to make sure that, obviously, for the two of you on the balance team, like, your job is never done, right? So we want to make sure we can get you back to work. We don't steal you all day.
We have an infinite amount of work, actually. Balance is never done.
Infinite amount of work. That sounds like a lot. Sounds like a terrifying.
Well, it's gonna be even more once the game's out there, right, for everybody to play, because that's
even more than Infinity.
Telemetry,
Yes.
Like, that's the thing. It's that we have so many hooks into the game to see how people are doing, what they're building. how many units get destroyed, built, taken, etc. Like it helps us out the more people play actually. So if that wasn't incentive enough, if you guys on October 28th, make sure you get into the game and like help us feed more data into it. Really.
Yeah, for sure. And that's one of the things. We'll be keeping an eye on feedback on everything. We will be passing it along to these two here, Zach and Eric, as well as the rest of their team, being like, hey, this is what the community says. And I'm sure they're going to be like, oh, man, more work. Add it to the pile.
It's a good thing.
It is.
Guys,
It
we're
is a
not
good
trying
thing.
to frame it in a bad way. It's a good thing, all right?
No,
So,
that is
definitely a good
exactly
thing.
it. Getting more hands on the game, having all of you play when the game's at launch, like that's what we're excited to see. I mean, for Zach and Eric, like I'm sure they want to see people get their hands on the game, start playing, start seeing what works, what doesn't, what needs these tunings and tweaks, getting all of that in there. But I do want to say thank you so much, Zach and Eric. I see chat is also thanking you for not only the commentary of that show match. It was some of your comments were absolutely amazing. It was a lot of fun watching that, but also for this discussion with us. Thank you for taking the time each week to sit here and kind of chat with the community, answer some of these questions, and just build upon what everyone just saw in those show matches there.
Yeah, thanks. It's an honor to be on the show and get to cast these games for you guys. So just keep asking questions, and we'll keep answering for you guys. And hopefully you're enjoying this, and we're just gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, thank you so much. And again, this is week 3 of 5. We will be back again next Friday with the Rus vs. Delhi Sultanate, and then we will be back on. It used to be Tuesday the 26th. It's now changed to Wednesday, October 27th. We will be doing a 2v2 match there, a special one to wind this down. So this is the day before launch. So it's October 27th. It is a Wednesday. No longer Tuesday the 26th. And then the game obviously will launch the next day on October 28th. But
Oh, yes. Can't wait.
Exciting.
yeah. All right, Zach, Eric, thank you so much for joining us. We will let you go get back to some balance stuff while we wind down the stream. But to everyone here, do not leave. Everyone in chat, you might want to stick around. We've got potentially.
Why is that, Grant? Why is that, Grant?
I think it's because Elliot said he's gonna win some of your prizes. Elliot's been chatting. He's like, I'm gonna win all.
I
of
mean,
these.
if you leave before the stream ends, yes. I might
If all of you leave before, and Elliot's the only one around, I guess we have to let him win. I don't know how that works. But yes, so the game comes out October 28th on Xbox Game Pass for PC on day 1, as well as Steam and the Microsoft Store. You can actually go pre-order it right now, and you get the Dawn of Dukes expansion for Age 2 DE included as a free bonus. So yeah, let's just do one of these giveaways. It's always great hearing kind of this dialogue, this discussion from the team, and we know everyone wants to know more. So it's that time of the stream again. This is the Age 4 companion book published by Future Press. It would be an amazing centerpiece. I can see it on like a coffee table beside your TV in your gaming room. And it just gives you a deep dive into the civilizations, units, buildings, maps, all of that, some developer commentary. It's not out yet. It does release later in the year. So if you win this, you will need to be patient until it's out. We will make sure to get it to you. We will be in contact getting your information anyways. And as soon as we have them, we will get it off to you. You can also buy them. You can go pre-order it now. They come out later in the year. We'll get that tossed in chat. But for now, !Age forward, Age the number 4, Ward, W-A-R-D. Get that in chat. You have... I will give you a few minutes. Get your entries in. Good luck. Let's have this go on. But yeah, this book, every time I see this, I want a copy of this book right now. Elliot, we need some advanced copies. Come on, make it happen.
I mean, I don't want to say too much about it on this end, but but yes, definitely this is a great companion book to the launch of Age 4. So definitely enter. I personally am looking forward to getting my own copy of it. So
yeah,
I will not. I will not be entering as much as I'd love to have another copy. So.
But see, here's the downside is having 2 copies is good because the first one you can flip open, you can look through, and the other one you can keep nice and preserved. You can put in like a light box or like leave it sealed, collectible item at that.
I don't know if I'll leave it sealed though, my end, but yeah.
All right, we'll give everyone just a few seconds here. Again, !Age the number 4, W-A-R-D in chat. I think this is the one here. Yes, there you go in chat. You can go pre-order your own book at that link as well. Hold off, though, because you might win this in just a few seconds here. And if you do, I mean, you might want a second book. You might still want to pre-order another one, but Best case, if you win this, you'll have one, and then you can pre-order a second if you want. But to everyone, we'll give you a few seconds, and then we will draw the winner here. And I see Elliot is not in the list of entrants, so we're good on that.
No, I said I wasn't going to do it. I don't want to get scolded again. It's not.
Yeah, I see in chat Inferno Galore, who doesn't love collecting art books? They're such a fun thing. They're just like so nice to flip through. They look really good on a coffee table, on a gaming area, like any of that stuff. I definitely need to get my little den room here set up so I have some books on shelves, but definitely has to happen. Especially, I mean, once I get this book, it's probably going to be what makes me do it. But let's draw some winners here. All right, we've got one winner of this Age of Empires 4 companion book. Oh, I see people chatting. Okay, who wants to win this? Good luck in chat, everyone. We're going to draw this right now. MacDoms, MACKDOMS, congratulations. You've won this exclusive, or so not exclusive, but it comes with exclusive art prints from Craig Mullins. It's the Age of Empires 4 companion book. A member of our team will be reaching out to you. This is one of those things that you, again, will need to wait a little bit of time because it's not out yet. It's a pre-order item, so once it's in, once we have copies ourselves, we will get you your copy as well. So we'll be in contact, but a member of our team is going to reach out. So make sure your direct messages are open.
Congrats.
Congratulations. And yeah, we are almost at the end of the stream here. Just a reminder, we're going to be having these every week. We have the Roos versus Delhi Sultanate next week, and then we have the week after the 2v2 match on October 27th, the Wednesday. Again, Wednesday, October 27th, and that is the day before launch. So again, launch is October 28th. Best time to get your hands on the game. You can pre-order right now. You get the expansion Dawn of the Dukes for Age 2 DE as a bonus. There's both the standard edition and a deluxe edition as well you can go take a look at. Also, if you have Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass, you are good as well because it does launch on Game Pass for PC on day one. So it's just going to be basically a game in your list you can play, and that's just amazing. And that said, I think... Give me 1 second here. Gotta reset some stuff. Do not type anything in chat yet, but I think some of you from past...
No. What are you doing here, Grant?
I think some of the people from chat may know what's happening next. I mean, I did just talk about Game Pass. It's a great thing. It so many games.
If you were here the last 2 weeks, you know what this is going to be.
Yes. So this is your chance to win 1 year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. This means you get it on PC. It comes on console as well for the Game Pass, but Age of Empires 4 itself launches on the Game Pass for PC side of this. Yep. So you will be able to access that on day one.
Yep.
And this is a year of Game Pass Ultimate, which is
what's
amazing
because it's on Game Pass. You not only are going to get Age 4, but this gives you Forza Horizon 5, Halo Infinite, anything else that's like Sea of Thieves, any of the games that's already on Xbox Game Pass, you will have access to fully for a whole year.
Yeah,
and it's great. Like again, it's mentioned, it's the Ultimate Pass. So if you've got Xbox, Series S or X and or PC, like you can play it on any of those, right? So
no, Game Pass is absolutely great. I have Game Pass too. It's fun finding all the games. That said, Game Pass, whoever wins this, very, very lucky. This is a great prize for 1 year of Game Pass. Again, it launches day one on PC for Age of Empires 4 on Game Pass.
Yep.
Also available Microsoft Store and Steam. You can pre-order that at any time. But if you win...
Pre-order wish list.
And obviously our website, ageofempires.com, has more information if you want to dive into some of the content we put out, either civs or campaign. All of this is all on our website, as well as how to pre-order it there. But yeah, so let's give this just a few seconds. I see a lot of entries coming in for this year of Game Pass. I would love to win this. I'm not going to enter because I already have Game Pass for the next little bit of time, but it's such a great thing. Like, this is just not only Age you're getting, but a ton of games. All right, let's give this just maybe 10 seconds, Elliot. We'll let some people get in, and then we're going to see who wins. All right, let's see. That should be good, everyone. Final 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And our winner is Dedonus, Dedonus. Congratulations. You've won a year of Game Pass Ultimate. So you've won a year of Game Pass Ultimate. That means a year of Age, a year of every other game on Game Pass as well.
Now that being said, I think there's a pattern of what we're giving away here. So if it wasn't clear, tune in next week when we're streaming again next week for more opportunities to win, but also see the final Civ matchup, which I think was correct me if I'm wrong, the Roos versus the
Delhi Sultanate.
Delhi Sultans.
The Rus versus Delhi Sultanate. Yeah. So we've seen 3 show matches now. The English and Holy Roman Empire was our first week. Abbasid Dynasty versus Mongols was second. This was the Chinese versus French. And as Elliot just mentioned, next week is the Rus versus Delhi Sultanates. On Monday, we will be posting the voting, so you can vote which civ you'd feel you'd like to play more. That dictates what we reveal as the kind of feature highlight little reel we showed earlier for, in this case, the French civ. So you can get that vote in, and then we'll do a show match that we'll let run, again, narrated and commented by our very own Zach and Eric from the Balance team. Huge thanks once again to the 2 of them. They are absolutely amazing. They make it just so much fun to watch. Their commentary is absolutely great. And watching these, I know I'm learning a lot from how these people play, watching how the games go, and just shocked at how much better they are than me in this game. I've got a long way to go. So when the game launches, I'm going to be out there playing matches. I'm sure some of you will run into myself and Elliot. I know you'll destroy me very likely, but I'll learn. I'll get there.
Yeah, for sure. And someone says upload YouTube video. This entire VOD is going to be on YouTube later after this is over, and as well as the actual gameplay match will be uploaded in 4K. So that will be available later today. I don't have the exact timing because it takes time to process once you upload to YouTube. But
exactly, we will get this all uploaded as soon as we possibly can. And then I know some of you over the weekend, you can go back, you can rewatch either this entire VOD of this stream here, or you can go watch the show match. All of that's going to be there. Spend some time enjoying it, and then come back next week as we start for the next Civ matchup. And I hope we'll see you again on Friday.
Yeah. So in the meantime, everyone have a great weekend, and we'll have a whole bunch of new stuff next week as well as the poll. So catch you guys next week. And as Grant mentioned, we'll be seeing you live on our next stream next Friday.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. We will see you next week. Have a wonderful weekend.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.